Mariah Elizabeth's toys are colorful, creative, and full of personality. Seriously, they're little masterpieces. But as an artist, I couldn't help wondering, what if I made them different? Welcome back, I'm Christine, this is Mike. All right, so the toys aren't going to be completely different, but they are going to be a little weird, and most importantly, they're going to be courageous. Yep. To make this more fun, I'm gonna pick randomly from the stash that I got from Walmart. 3 of these are from series 2, and 1 of these is from series 3. And I really want this cat. Oh, it's Derp! He's so cute! Does this rainbow thing move? Oh, Derp, you're so precious. Wait a minute. Where are your hands? Okay, that's definitely something that I have to fix with this air dry clay. I don't like this clay. It's sticky, it's hard to work with, and it takes forever to dry. However, it's lightweight, so it won't make the toy heavy. And because it's sticky, I don't have to sand the surface. I can actually just stick this straight onto the toy and it'll be all right. Derp is already perfect. I just wanted to enhance what was already there. Now I know that the arms are supposed to be underneath the rainbow, but I wanted to elevate the design. I wanted to bring more of the elements of the rainbow around the character, and the best way I could do this is to give Derp wings. I'm carefully rolling out the wings and sticking them on just like this. Finally, it's time to add the legs. They look a little silly, but I think they're gonna work. Let's make him look magical by adding a horn on his head, and then this teeny tiny little horn right on top of the nose. I think these wings need a couple extra layers, and now it's perfect. To keep everything in place and make it easy to paint the toy, I'm gonna coat this entire thing in Mod Podge. Oops, the horn just fell off. Let's just stick it back on with the Mod Podge. Oh, better. These horns aren't going anywhere, so now it's time to cover it in gesso. The gesso is gonna give me a nice blank slate to paint on top of. This is about 4 coats of gesso, just in case you were wondering. And what better to paint with than my Artex acrylic paint markers? I have a love-hate relationship with these markers, but I actually really love them for small projects like this. It's so easy to get in all the little nooks and crannies with the markers. And I have a lot more control with the paint markers compared to a paintbrush. Since I'm going to be surrounding Derp with more rainbow elements, it only makes sense to paint the wings with rainbow colors. Orange is my least favorite color, so I had to go back to the first wing and add some more pastel red. I just had to do it. It was bothering me so much. No Derpy Dino is complete without feet, and my version of the Color Splash Rainbow Derp has to have cute little feet. I added derpy little eyes, 2 dots onto the snout, and some eyelashes. And this derpy little Color Splash Dino was complete. I think it's cute. Moving on to mystery toy number 2. It's Pickled Pink. Oh, so precious, so adorable, so pink. I'm grabbing my clay again because it's time to sculpt. I tried to prop her up on this stamp, but it didn't work. She needs to be held for this. For some reason, I imagined Pickled Pink would be very good at gardening. I'm not exactly sure why, but because she loves gardening, I decided to sculpt flowers and vines growing out of her head. I thought it would be creative, but the more I added, the more I disliked it. So about 4 hours later, I destroyed it. This is actually a great example of how easy it is to remove the clay. I mean, before you put the Mod Podge and the gesso on top of it, it's very easy to get off. But what do I do now? I know. Are you ready for this? I'm gonna cover her entire head. Yep. Poor thing, she can't breathe right now. Okay, calm down, it's a toy. She doesn't have to breathe. Or see. It's gonna be all right. If you haven't guessed, I covered her head with a skull because she's wearing a costume. This is Pickled Pink Halloween edition. Halloween isn't just a holiday, it's an entire aesthetic, and some of us celebrate it all year round. It's called goth. Is this pickled pink goth? I don't know, but she's definitely a skeleton. What have I done? No skeleton is complete without a rib cage, so I made her one. Once I was happy with the ribs on the front, I continued them onto the back. And then I added bones all the way down her back until it reached the end of her tail. And of course, like before, I had to add the little feets. And yes, I'm saying feets with an S. I like to say feets. I think it sounds cute. Now that all of the clay is in place, it's time to add the Mod Podge. This part is always challenging because there's no good place to hold on to pickled pink. Shortly after, I added 4 coats of gesso, and it's time to paint. Since this is pickled pink, obviously I want to paint her pink. I got a little adventurous this time, and I'm actually using my acrylic paint, which I highly regret. This was just one of those days, okay? I tried so hard to paint all of the little details. I was trying to be so meticulous, but no matter what I did, I constantly dropped my paintbrush into every single pile of paint on my palette. Which means you're going to see my hands get progressively dirty as we go, because eventually I did switch over to my Artex paint markers, but for some reason, I started to drop those into the piles of paint as well. So every time I used a marker or a paintbrush, I just got more and more paint on my hands. Fortunately though, Pickled Pink Skeleton Halloween / Goth Edition, whatever you want to call her, looks adorable. Let's see what the last mystery toy is. Oh, it's Pickled Pink again! Oh, what am I gonna do with you now? Oh, I wonder. How about I honor the color splash theme? Since the theme of these toys is color splash, why not cover her in splashes of paint? I think the easiest way to sculpt the drips on her head is to create little balls, and then I can just kind of smush them down and drag them with my finger to make them look like drips. I don't know, what do you think? This is my least favorite makeover in this video, but I had fun working with clay. Even though it's difficult, I find it relaxing. I want to give a quick shout out to the Cassie Projects. One of her recent videos inspired me to try this myself, and I'm so glad I did. Anytime I try something new outside of my comfort zone, it's like a breath of fresh air for my creativity. So I've come to the conclusion that this doesn't look like drips. It kind of looks like Pickled Pink has strange, shaggy hair. Hopefully adding some paint will help, so it's time to add the Mod Podge to get everything sealed in place. Beautiful. Now it's time for lots and lots of gesso. It's amazing how much gesso this takes, but it's worth it. Plus my Artex paint markers work beautifully on top of it. You might have noticed that Pickled Pink is no longer pink. She's purple. Hold on now, don't freak out. This specific Pickled Pink and I had a conversation off camera before this makeover. Look, she's a duplicate. The last thing she needs is to look exactly like her weird sister who wants to be dressed up as a skeleton. She has her own voice and self-expression, and it's my job to help her bring it out. Were the paint splashes her idea? No. That was all me. Personally, I don't love the way it looks, but she does. She feels fabulous, especially when I add the little feets, derpy little eyes, and eyelashes. No one's confusing her with her sister anytime soon. I saved the best for last. Drum roll, please. It's Strawberry. Oh, you're so cute. You're perfect. I don't want to change a thing, but I must transform her like the others. Do 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 do. She has no idea that I'm about to cover her in an old tie-dye rainbow sweater. I love Strawberry, but I really wanted the rainbow cat. I mean, who doesn't? So in an effort to make Strawberry even better, she's getting a rainbow makeover. I wanted to be precise, so I even created a paper template to help me cut the fabric down some more. I assumed that this wasn't accurate, so I made the shapes I was cutting a bit bigger. Better safe than sorry. I'm trying to be so precise, so I know exactly where I need to sew this fabric together. Yes, sew. I can't believe I'm sewing. I never thought I'd see the day. I mean, this is a painting channel, so what the heck? Painting this blush would have been so much easier, but I decided against it because I absolutely love her. And if I get tired of my creation, I can always take everything off and enjoy Strawberry in her original form. Unfortunately, I went about sewing the fabric together all wrong. Which is no surprise because I have no idea how to sew. I've never done this before. I thought that it would be easy to sew the fabric together off of Strawberry and then put it on to check my measurements. Then I would take it off again and put it on again. But this was insane. After about an hour of taking it off and putting it on, I realized I could just sew this together while she was wearing it. All I had to do was make sure that the fabric was inside out. This made the process so much faster. I was done in about 15 minutes after that. After taking it off one last time, I trimmed it and put it on her right side out. And it's perfect. I had this crazy idea to take the string from the hoodie and wrap it around her head. I thought a kung fu version of Strawberry would be cute. But when I showed it to my husband, he suggested that I should turn her into a mummy. Now I need some eyes and I have the perfect set of buttons. This is option number 1. These are ridiculous and perfect at the same time. Here's option number 2. It's just not the same, is it? After carefully guiding my sharp needle underneath, I start to sew on option 1. I am certain that I am doing this wrong, but I'm a jump in and ask questions later type of person, so I just went for it. This heart will make a beautiful nose. She's so lucky. I really wish I had a heart-shaped nose like this. I'm using my Sharpie Creative Marker to add some adorable eyelashes, and she's done. As you can see, the original plushie is still intact. I can remove this anytime I want to. But let's just play with her first. If you want more makeover videos, let me know in the comments below. I am having a blast with this video idea because I can do toy makeovers, I can do thrift makeovers, I can paint on random objects. It's so much fun. These videos take longer to create, but I don't care because I love them so much. I love playing with toys. Please give me a reason to play with more toys. In the meantime, go ahead and check out this playlist to watch some similar videos, and we'll see you there.